DJI announced a downscaled version of their Osmo gimbal. Remember the Osmo mobile gimbal for smartphones? It's extremely popular at $129. Well, they came out with this brand new one, which is about the size of a pair of sunglasses. It's really tiny, and it includes a 4K pocket camera. The handheld gimbal and the 4K camera is similar to the array that you find on the DJI Mavic drone. So it looks like they're kind of repurposing some of their technologies. And it includes smart features like active tracking, face track, selfie mode. And it also has options for manual control and video editing through a new app that DJI is going to be putting out after the first of the year called Mimo.
This got a lot of attention from my media-savvy students. What are your thoughts about the Osmo gimbal?
Well, as I mentioned, DJI looks like they're repurposing much of their technology that it uses on their smaller Mavic drone platforms. But there's another cool feature that looks similar to the failed GoPro Karma drone system, which is the ability to take that gimbal and mount it to a backpack or helmet, a bicycle, or even a dog. The Osmo Pocket is really versatile in that respect. And this leads me to believe that DJI wants to deliver a killing shot to their biggest competitor, which is GoPro. And at $349, they just might do it.
All right. Well, that's DJI. What's our next story?
I don't know if you're familiar with the software package called HitFilm by FX Home. Forever, I've wanted Adobe to come out with an After Effects Elements app, which would be like a scaled down $100 software package for beginners who would be able to do visual effects. Well, that is what HitFilm really is. It combines video editing and an effects suite, and it's ideal for those just starting out. And with version 11, users are starting to get some really nifty features, which include this new module called Surface Studio, which gives users advanced titling capabilities with texture, decay, and damage, and they can do it in minutes rather than hours with a simple press of a button. Other features include the Exposure Pro, which is their color grading module, which enables you to grade footage with cinematic look. HitFilm is incorporating many of these recent features into their Express version of the software, which you can download for free at fxhome.com. And they also offer a really nifty pay-as-you-go annual subscription.
Tell me more about why we should consider HitFilm.
What separates HitFilm from other video editing and effects suites is that it does offer that free tier, so you can download and use it forever if you want to. And most of their clients, actually, that's what they get started in. It provides professional level effects, so it helps beginning filmmakers to hit the ground running. And when you're ready to get up to that next level, it's incredibly affordable at around $300. The pay-as-you-go model, basically it's $300 a year, and that gives you all of the updates that you get for the next year. But what's really cool about it is if they come out with a version of the software that you don't particularly, yeah, that's neat, but I'm not going to use any of those features, you can actually take a year off, take a version off, and not upgrade, and still use your software as it is. And then you can then go back and upgrade later on when a new feature comes that you really want to use. So I really like HitFilm, and on top of that, anybody who's considering getting into video editing should go to fxhome.com, download a copy of HitFilm Express, and play around with it. It'll really rock your world.
All right. Well, that's DJI for story 1 and FX Home for story 2. What's our third story?
Well, this is the one you're not going to like. Could Sony's next mirrorless camera shoot in 8K? There's a really great rumor out that Sony is working on 2 new next-generation image sensors for their Alpha 7 and Alpha 9 camera lines. Sensor number 1 is a 60-megapixel, which will shoot 8K at 60 frames per second in 10-bit video, or it could go as high as 16-bit video if you're shooting in lower frame rates. Believed to be for the next-generation higher-end Sony A7R4. Sensor 2 is a 36-megapixel sensor, which will shoot at 8K 60 10-bit, but will have on-chip phase detection. It's believed to be for the more consumer-friendly Sony A9. And Sony will continue to use the technique called pixel binning, which will borrow from surrounding pixels to increase dynamic range and color accuracy. But they're also going to be adding a dual gain mode, which will improve dynamic range by as much as 2 stops, and a digital overlap HDR feature, which will bracket images by shooting frames simultaneously.
James, this is a rumor.
I know you hate rumors, I understand, admittedly. But the current A7R3 uses a very similar design, using pixel binning to achieve a really great 4K image from a larger size 6K sensor. So this 8K design would be the next logical step forward. But it does skip over 6K, and that makes me think that Sony will probably do 6K first before bringing 8K to a prosumer platform. Because honestly, I don't see 8K coming to a lower-end mirrorless or DSLR before 2020.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. And what other stories are you working on this week?
Other stories we're following, we review Trap Code 15 from Red Giant Software. What are the 10 must-have items in your beginning filmmaker quiver? And is there a difference between color correction and color grading?